Hi, my name is Ryan Renfro. I've been attending Lakeside since the beginning of 2015. I grew up in a town of 600 people. My parents knew everybody. I didn't even have a first name until I was in high school. I was always known as Rich's boy. Played sports in high school, football, basketball, ran track, baseball. I was your typical athlete, which I thought was typical. We'd go out, party on Friday, party in cornfields, party on Saturday. As it progressed on, sometimes we partied during the week, partied all summer long. Went to college, played at Morningside for a little while. Injuries helped set that off. I was going to school full-time. I was working full-time and trying to party full-time. Well, that's 3 full-time jobs and you can only handle 2, so school dropped off pretty fast. Ended up moving to Ames, then ended up moving down to Des Moines later on. My friends were getting deployed to Iraq. So I had to work Saturday and Sunday while we were partying on Friday. It happened to be the Iowa State game quite a few years ago. I thought it'd be a good idea to go up there, have some fun, and then drive back. Well, that's my second IWI. After that, I realized I got a problem. Became pretty apparent that I need to settle down, so I controlled and would only drink or do anything like that in my own house. Wouldn't leave, or I'd make sure I found a cab. November 29th, 2014, I was arrested and charged with first-degree robbery, also known as armed robbery. What happened was we were drinking all day long. This was the Iowa-Nebraska game. Partying it up, started really early. We ended up going to another bar. Long story short, I got a cab ride home. On that cab ride, I don't remember much. I do remember there was some people talking back and forth, and I was scared. I was paranoid for some reason. And I actually reached over and I punched the cab driver. And at that time, that's when he got me out of the car with a gun. And I remember sitting there on my knees, just by the mile-long bridge, my hands up, just begging, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. Because at that time I knew there was only 2 options. I was either going to get shot or I was going to fight. I picked the latter. I fought, took his gun, threw his gun, took his cab. When I took the cab, I had actually rammed the side of the guardrail just on the other side of the mile-long bridge. When I took the car, I called 911, and that's when I was arrested at the T intersection in Polk City. Luckily, my parents were in town. They came, bailed me out of jail, and I didn't even know what I was arrested for until they told me. They said, "Do you even know what you were arrested for?" And I said, "No." They said, "First-degree robbery." My friend of mine that had moved with me a week before, he actually called me and said, "Do you have any idea, bro, what you're facing right now?" He said, "It's a quarter 70. I don't speak jail terms. I don't speak present sentence terms. A quarter 70 means 25 years in prison, 70% mandatory. There was about 4 different court hearings. They never did find the gun. I went down and I was reporting to low-risk probation. And I talked to my probation officer, and she said, within 6 months, if you have all your checklists done, you don't have to see me again. I went from 25 years in prison to 6 months probation and discharged 6 months later. There's really no way to explain it. There's absolutely no way to explain it other than God was behind all of it the whole time. After I was arrested, I knew I needed to get closer to God. I just didn't really know how. So I started going to another church. There was a lot of times that I asked, what's my purpose in life? And the first time we went to church together in Waterloo, they talked about your purpose in life is to pass on the message of Jesus Christ. I went to Lakeside a few times, was introduced. Someone from Lakeside stopped by my house, and they spent an hour with me going over the Bible. It's weird how it never made sense to me before. I didn't understand the Bible. I didn't understand what they were saying, and I would get confused very easily and not really even want to. now I find myself actually wanting to get into it, and I'm wanting to read it and wanting to find out about it, because the Bible tells a story that I never knew was possible, I never knew existed. Jesus is the one that died for our sins, and he knows that we are going to sin again, but he died on the cross for us. In that hour I had learned more than I had ever had learned before in my previous 30 years. That night, I asked Jesus to come into my life and save me from my sins. And ever since that day, my life has changed with much more peace and understanding of what I was going through, what's my purpose in life. So after spending that much time at Lakeside and knowing that I needed to be involved in a church and wanting to be closer to a church, not just a number, I decided to sign up for a ditch cleanup. There was a gentleman that said, okay, I'm taking Ryan and so-and-so and so-and-so, and we're gonna go clean up the bridge. As we were walking along, we're talking about Jesus, talking about God, how he's working in our life and what's happening. And as we came along, we stumbled upon a piece of a chrome grill. It looked like a bumper, and we both looked at it and thought, wow, who smoked a deer? Somebody hit a deer there. We're not really sure what happened. As we were both drawing our conclusions on what might have happened, it hit me. I was cleaning up the cab that I wrecked 6 months earlier. When I found that bumper, I knew that I was cleaning up my own mess. God knew it was going to take an amazing amount to change me. Somehow I was led to a random church, a random place, and a random ditch cleanup. And I was the one that gets to clean up my mess. And that was God's way of telling me that I was in the right spot. I'm most thankful for being free from addiction, having Jesus in my life and having God in my life, and God keep showing me different things. Each day more is revealed. It's unreal. Whenever I get into a situation, whether it be I really want to drink today or I really want something else, God, give me 10 minutes, give me 10 seconds, give me 30 seconds, give me a minute. Give me enough time to get me through this, and things will change. So I'm not sure the road that he's taking me on. I'm not exactly sure where we're headed, but I know that he's got the wheel, and I'm going to follow.